Greetings, rider. Eve Frontiers Cycle 5 introduces a variety of new features and content. This guide will explain many of our core systems, discuss the improvements in Cycle 5, and help you get started in your journey on the frontier. Before we begin, first create a character. Select your name and one of the 3 starting regions. None of these regions offer a particular advantage, so simply choose whichever speaks to you the most. This will be the last easy decision you have to make. As you load in, the first thing you'll see is your starting vessel, a Wend-class corvette in the center of the screen. Surrounding that is your heads-up display. Important information about your ship's systems is located in the bottom left of your screen. This includes your health bars, your fuel gauge, your capacitor indicator, and your heat gauge. In the bottom center of the screen is your directional indicator. When moving through space, this will show you your current heading and orientation in 3-dimensional space. At the bottom right is your action bar. Your ship can be equipped with a variety of different modules and hardpoints to change or expand its functionality. When new modules that can be activated in space are fitted to your ship, such as afterburners or weapons, they will appear here. You can activate these modules either by clicking them directly from the action bar or using the corresponding hotkey. Just above the action bar is the chat box. There are 2 default options, one for your starting tribe and one for everyone in your system, or local. You do not appear in the local chat window until you speak there, which may reveal information to others that you would prefer to keep to yourself. In the top left of your screen is information about your location. The current system and region are indicated here, and below them is your route, if you're using a planned autopilot route. Below that is the tutorial messaging, which will persist until you complete the tutorial, or choose to skip it in the escape menu. Above the heat bar in the bottom left of your screen is the terminal. The terminal contains a number of different utilities, such as your ship fitting window, your inventory window, and your wallet. These can be organized in whichever way you like, simply by dragging and dropping them in the expanded terminal. Also inside the terminal is your mission hub, used to complete in-game missions and acquire grace. Grace can be converted into Eve points at the end of every cycle. Below the terminal is a gear icon. Clicking this will reveal the widget Move Mode option, allowing you to reposition nearly all of the elements of your HUD to your preference. Lastly, at the top center of your screen are 4 different camera buttons. The first camera, activated with B, is Build Mode. You'll use this to construct your base, as well as deploy portable structures in space. The next camera is the main camera, the one you're using currently. It can be activated from any of the others by pressing F1. The second camera is the tactical camera, activated by pressing F2. This camera reveals more information about the tactical makeup of the space around you and is a powerful tool in certain combat encounters. The final camera is the system camera, activated by pressing F3. This camera will show you the entire solar system you are currently in, including warpable locations and points of interest. You can walk to any of these by clicking them and then pressing F to initiate warp. Stacked icons can be expanded by right-clicking. All 3 cameras can also be reached using the scroll wheel on your mouse by zooming in and out. Here are the basic controls for piloting your ship. To accelerate, press E. There are 4 detents for speed: 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. Press Q to reduce your speed, or, if you are at the 0% detent, reverse. You can stop your ship at any time by pressing Ctrl plus space. Your vessel's pitch is controlled by pressing W and S. and your yaw is controlled by pressing A and D. Your camera can be moved by left-clicking in space and dragging. The grey semicircle around the pitch and yaw indicator shows your orientation relative to the galactic horizon. At any time, you can reconfigure your controls by pressing Escape and going to the keyboard section of the menu. Here, you can remap your controls in a way that best suits your preferences. Cycle 5 introduces 2 new and 1 updated camera settings while using the main camera. Press C for the chase camera. This will settle the camera behind your ship and will follow you as you maneuver through space. This can be useful when navigating through tighter areas. Select a target by left-clicking it and then press T. This will activate the track camera, and the camera will follow the selected target while keeping your own ship in frame. Return to the standard freeform camera at any time by dragging in space with your mouse. Additionally, you can also zoom in on the scroll wheel, which will activate the updated telescope camera, allowing you to see faraway objects more easily. Fuel is essential on the frontier. Your ship is equipped with an engine that must be fueled. Ships consume fuel in order to recharge their capacitor, which acts as an energy reserve for your wind. Corvettes, like your starting vessel, utilize hydrogen fuel made from water ice. This is low-quality fuel, but relatively abundant. Let's first fuel your ship. Open the inventory, either by selecting it in the terminal or by pressing I. Within the inventory, you can see your starting equipment: 2 synthetic mining lenses and a stack of 300 units of unstable hydrogen fuel. To fuel your ship, click the fuel gauge and then click Apply. Any available fuel types in your cargo hold will be shown on the left. Before setting off, you should gather whatever items you can from the space around you. Navigate to either of the derelict freighter wrecks near you, either using the WASD controls or by right-clicking the object and pressing Approach. You can only approach static objects this way, such as wrecks and cargo containers in space. Once in range, press F to open the cargo of the selected wreck. Drag the items in the cargo into your own cargo on the left. There is a single feral drone in this area. Feral drones are autonomous machines with strange, inhuman intelligences. This drone may contain valuable items you can use to get started. You do not currently have any weapons equipped, but you do have a cutting laser used to break open rocks for mining. Click the yellow icon above your mining laser in the action bar and select one of your synthetic mining lenses. Now, select the feral drone in space and begin maneuvering towards it. Once you're close, press 1 to fire your cutting laser. Remember that you can track it using the tracking camera if needed. If it starts to fire back, you can use the hull repairer on your ship to repair any damage done to you, though this consumes a lot of capacitor and fuel. Once you've destroyed the feral drone, collect anything that dropped from its wreck. The orange bar below your action bar will denote any experience you gained from this engagement. You'll likely still need some feldspar crystals in order to construct your first structure in space. Let's go find some now. Open the system map with F3. There are a variety of different points of interest in any given system for you to explore, but right now we're looking for one of the orbital zones, such as this inner derelict quarry. Select the zone and press F to initiate warp. Orbital zones are large areas around stars that contain many different structures and rock formations. This one has several points of interest, but they're all far away. Your ship is equipped with a skip module, a device used to rapidly increase your speed in a straight line. Begin approaching one of the groups of rocks in the distance, and then activate your skip module to accelerate towards it. The skip will continue running until you turn it off, or until your ship's capacitor is expended, so be sure to deactivate it once you're in range of your destination. Arriving in the orbital zone, you'll notice several points of interest indicated by your ship's onboard computer. These points of interest are likely locations of valuable resources, though some of them may also contain dangerous feral drones. Let's approach this asteroid field here. As you approach, your ship's onboard passive signature analysis system will activate. These icons are your ship attempting to resolve unknown signatures in space. They will slowly resolve over time, though this can be expedited by approaching the signature in question. To the right of each of these icons, you will see information about the signature being analysed. Currently, your vessel is only able to detect gravitational signatures, but several other signature types will be present in future iterations of this system. Note that these signatures are not just objects in space. They can also be ferals or other players. Your vessel also has a gravitational signature and can be similarly passively detected by other players in space. Staying close to larger objects will help you hide your signature from players and NPCs. We need feldspar crystals, so first you need to find a char asteroid. Once you've located one, navigate towards it until you're within locking range. You can target lock an object by selecting it and pressing X. Once you've locked the object and have it selected, activate your cutting laser to begin harvesting the feldspar crystals from this asteroid. While you're mining, be sure to stay aware of your surroundings, as you're more vulnerable sitting still. Your ship will alert you with a small click when a new signature is detected, though this could just as easily be your vessel trying to resolve a faraway asteroid as another player. Now that you've collected the necessary feldspar crystals, you need to refine them into something usable. Raw material is bulky and rarely useful, and refineries can be used to process that material. Press B to enter Build mode. Under the Core tab, select the Field Refinery. Using the placement tools, place the refinery somewhere near you. Once you've got it where you want it, press F to begin the deployment process. This will take about 30 seconds. After deploying your refinery, select it and press F. You'll see a short list of materials you can refine and their outputs. You can filter these options at the top, search for specific input and outputs, and choose to show only those options for which you already have the relevant material in your cargo hold. Your next task will be creating D1 fuel for your ship's engine. You will need this refinery in order to turn hydrated sulfide matrix into water ice, and then water ice into D1 fuel. To pick up your refinery, right-click the structure and choose Dismantle to Cargo Container. This will return the refinery to its base components, allowing you to scoop them into your cargo hold for deployment elsewhere. Now, let's go find a comet asteroid. Comet will have the hydrated sulfide matrix you need to continue. Having found and mined a comet asteroid, let's refine the hydrated sulfide into water ice and then into D1 fuel. First, deploy your field refinery. Then, select the hydrated sulfide schema. Hover over the input and select Deposit. You can choose to deposit material into any industry structure from any nearby storage unit you own, including your own cargo hold. Select the hydrated sulfide matrix you just mined. Press Start. The field refinery will run on its own until it has consumed all deposited inputs or until you choose to stop the refinery. You can observe the outputs on the right side of the screen. The numbers next to the input and output names denote the unit sizes. In this case, 20 units of hydrated sulfide matrix provides you with 150 units of water ice and 10 units of hydrocarbon residue. Once the job has completed, be sure to empty both sides of the industry table. Select the input and outputs and then choose Withdraw to move them to your cargo hold. If you don't have enough cargo hold space, you may need to temporarily eject some other items in your cargo hold to make room. Now, go back to the schema page. Select Water Ice at the bottom of the page. Run this job just like the previous one, noting that 275 units of water ice will give you 75 units of D1 fuel. Once you've finished the job, withdraw the D1 fuel to your cargo hold. You can use this D1 fuel to power the engine in any corvette, but it will not be sufficient for the more advanced engines in frigates and above. The in-game tutorial will continue to walk you through the process of setting up other field structures, like the field printer and field storage unit. Continue to explore the system you're in for the necessary resources needed to progress, while keeping note of where valuable resources you've already found may be. If needed, you can press N to open the in-game notepad and keep track of information there. Managing your assets in space can be complex. However, you can press H to open up the Assets window, giving you a list of all the structures you have anchored in space, allowing you to more easily find and warp to them. This is especially useful when keeping track of field deployables that you may have away from your base. Pressing M will open up the map of the frontier. From here, you can use the filters to locate stations, your assets, and see nearby systems you can travel to with your jump drive. Locating resources can be a challenge, but it's worth keeping track of what sort of resources you find in each orbital zone, and understand that you're likely to find similar resources in those areas with some consistency. For example, you're much less likely to find comet asteroids, the source of hydrated sulfide and water ice, in any of the orbital zones near to a star, and much likely to find it in the outer belts of a solar system. Inversely, slag and char asteroids, both important for early progression, should be more abundant in the inner belts. Last of all, remember, preparation and awareness are what will keep you alive, and resilience is what will help you thrive. Danger and riches abound in equal measure in this unforgiving universe, but we believe you have the tools needed to build a civilization in your own image. Good luck, Rider. We'll see you on the frontier.